Let's talk about some things that are gone in Windows 11 that were in Windows 10. Windows 11 came out October 5th in 2021, but it's not going to be until mid to late 2022 before everybody has it. So here's what you can expect to see missing in Windows 11. First is the timeline. If I hold down the Windows key and click the Tab key, I come up to the timeline. Now the timeline gives me everything I've done over the last 30 days on my computer. Gone in Windows 11. The second one is tablet mode. If I go down here to the right hand corner on the bottom, here down on the taskbar, and I click there, you see I have a tablet mode. When I click tablet mode, watch the taskbar here. You'll see that it changes. All those icons go away, and now if I click the start button, I have just these tiles that are ready for a touch screen. So that's what these tiles are about. A tablet, in a tablet you typically only have a touch screen, and so it's just putting it in a mode for that touch screen. I'm going to go back down here again and turn off tablet mode, and you'll see that change back again to my standard start menu. The next one is the movable taskbar. Now if I right click on the taskbar and go to taskbar settings, we'll have to wait for a moment, you'll see that I can change where the taskbar is. Bottom, right, top, left. You can no longer do that in Windows 11. However, Windows 11 will have the taskbar centered here along the bottom, similar to a Mac. And if you don't like that, you will be able to move it over to the left again to make it look more like a Windows 10 taskbar. Some icons on the taskbar will be gone. So, for example, if I right click here on the taskbar, you'll see I have something called Show People on the taskbar. That will no longer be in Windows 11. The People icon will be gone completely. Let's click People icon and turn that on, and you'll see now I have my People icon where I can put my contacts. That will be gone. As a matter of fact, several of these options here on this right click on the taskbar will no longer be here. That doesn't mean that some of them are not here in Windows 11. They're just not here at the right click of the taskbar. Others, like this People one, are gone altogether. Let's look at the tiles. We're going to replace the tiles, the live tiles, with widgets. So if I right click, or if I click the start button here, you see I have these tiles. This one here, the weather tile, is a live tile. It changes as the weather changes. No more live tiles. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, all of these tiles will disappear. I will no longer be able to move these around and group them like I can. They'll be replaced with just icons. The live tiles, you can't get those back, but you can add something new called widgets, which will add live action, for example, weather widgets and so on, to your start menu. So you will have that option, but these tiles themselves are finally going away, which, by the way, is a good thing in my opinion, except I do like the ability to group these, so I guess you can't have everything. Oh, and one thing, by the way, that I did not put on this document, this thing down here is a recent addition to Windows 10, and it's going away as well, I understand. So all this thing does is takes you to the MSN page. These are stories from the MSN page and the weather and so on from MSN. I believe that this is going away with Windows 11. The Internet Explorer application is gone. Now, Internet Explorer has been with us for a long time. It's the browser in Windows. Windows Edge kind of came along, and it's now going to edge out Internet Explorer. The Microsoft Edge is a universal app rather than a full-blown application. Internet Explorer was a full-blown application. What's the difference? Well, it's in how it's installed. If I go in here to the C drive and look under Program Files and Program x86. These are the installed applications. These are full-blown applications. However, the universal apps don't install here. In fact, it's kind of hard to find the installation for universal apps. So we're beginning to take the trend away from standard applications like Windows Explorer and move toward these universal apps. Cortana will no longer be here by default. So Cortana, the way it is in Windows 10, is it will ask you, do you want to install Cortana as you install Windows 10? And that question is no longer there in Windows 11. You can still install Cortana, but it's just not part of the installation by default. It was supposed to replace Siri and Echo and some of those kinds of devices. The old snipping tool is now Snip and Sketch. So the old snipping tool looked like this. And I can't demonstrate this while the video is running because they won't work together. But normally if I would click New, then I could just go, everything turns gray, and I could go up somewhere, hold down the mouse key and draw a square, and that would make a snip of that area of the screen, and then I could it would go on the clipboard, and I could paste it into Word or whatever I wanted, or I could save it into a picture file. Well, that's going to be replaced entirely now by this Snip and Sketch. I never can remember the name of it. I always call it Scratch and Sniff. The Snip and Sketch will be here. Snipping tool will be gone, but Snip and Sketch will be renamed Snipping Tool. So it'll still say Snipping Tool, but it will be this new Snip and Sketch. Here I would hold down the Windows, Shift S, and now I can, as you can see here, I can lasso something or grab something and make a picture of that, which I can now, it goes on the clipboard, and I can now paste it somewhere else. Several pre-installed apps are going to go away. Microsoft Wallet was installed in Windows 10 by default. It's going away. The 3D Viewer and Paint 3D are going away, which kind of surprises me because I thought those were kind of becoming a trend over regular pictures. But for whatever reason, they will no longer be installed by default in Windows 11. They may be available as separate downloads. OneNote and Skype are part of Office, the Office suite, and so they will not be installed by default in Windows 11. S Mode is a mode for Windows that is built into many tablets. S Mode keeps you from downloading applications, installing applications, except the ones that are downloaded from Windows Store. Now, once you convert from S Mode to Windows 10 mode, you can't go back again. So I can't demonstrate it here on my desktop because it never had S Mode. I have a tablet that did have S Mode, but I converted it to Windows 10 mode. In Windows 11, it's not gone, but it's only available in the home version. Finally, the last thing is the accounts, and this is an interesting one. If I go into my accounts, you can see here that I am logged on as my Microsoft account. I could log on locally to this machine, but right now I'm logged on to my Microsoft account, and that means that any device, any computer or Windows computer that I log on to this Microsoft account, my personalization offerings will be the same. In other words, my background, screensaver, all that will move with me from one computer to another. But in Windows 11, that's no longer true. Even if you sign into your Microsoft account, you can have separate backgrounds and personalization from one computer to another. So those are the things that are different in Windows 11. Now the caveat is that it's going to keep evolving and changing. I believe Windows 11 will be updated once a year rather than once every 6 months. I believe that's the last thing I've heard. and even that could change. But with those changes, all of this stuff could change again, but for now, that's the way it stands as far as I know.